What I find really interesting about this setup is that James Cummings, maybe more so than any other trainer, maybe in Australia, but certainly in New South Wales, is so across his racing history. So for him to tackle this race first up in full knowledge of the fact that no horse has ever achieved it is really interesting. It's a really interesting little quirk.
Yeah, it's got me stumped because I'm in love with Broadsiding, and I just don't know. Yeah, the first up factor's just got me from saying it's the best bet on the day. Because if he had another run under his belt, I'd just be steaming in. But the query track, barrier 1, is it good come race 8? Not sure.
Shinzo tried last year. Yeah, he's the latest, and he ran midfield. Before that, it was Yankee Rose, and she ran midfield. So, not an easy feat. However, he does look pretty special, doesn't he? So you saw how well he trialled, particularly at Hawkesbury, where he savaged the line. He looked great in an exhibition gallop. Here's a reminder, if you haven't seen that trial, and just look at him move. So yeah, it's impressive the amount of ground he makes up. But his action just looked perfect, didn't it, Al?
And I think we have to talk about the residual fitness that he has, and Darren Beedman mentioned that too. We're seeing so many of these horses coming out of the Queensland Winter Carnival. They get that little bit of sun on their back, perhaps they're even having a break up there, but they keep the residual fitness. So for him to be resuming here, it's not as if he's coming off a long layer either. Yeah,
and just I think the thing for me, you touched on it, Brad, is how he holds his action. So he's one of those horses that can adapt to any speed, drop their head, and as soon as he's asked, he would just go bang for McDonald. Like we saw in Brisbane when he went over the 1600, the 1400, did it from different positions. So he's got it all. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the market does with him. It's going to be quite fascinating.
I think he's going to be an easy horse to lay for the bookies.
Yeah.
So if you like him, I'd be inclined to hold fire. Barrier 1 as well.
Yep.
That's another little query, because if there is this rain around, inside mightn't be the best part of the track, and he's a horse that obviously needs a bit of room.
Yep.
1400 metres short of his best, so very interesting.
But if he starts 280, it's look out.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. That's a fair shout.